Friday edition of Sports Splash returns on ABS TV. A very good morning to you. Many thanks for joining us for Sports Splash. I am Ike Nwokedi. On the show today, Delta Marines Football Club, of course, have unveiled a new competition called the Asaba Super Cup competition. They also unveiled their female football team. We'll talk about that on the show. We'll talk about grassroots sports. Moriho FC and Michael FC are now through to the finals of the one feed Onitsha Unity Cup competition. There will be a new champion for this year's edition of the Onitsha Unity Cup competition. And Solution FC set to square up against Oshun United FC in match day 4 of the Nigerian National League NNL 24. And then we'll also talk about the Formula 1 tennis, athletics news, and league fixtures across Western Europe. Will focus on major leagues in Europe, in England, Italy, France, Spain, and Italy. Let's begin from the local scene. Let's start from this one. It's about the KM Lubricant All-Stars Football Championship, which came to a crescendo, and that was last Sunday to be precise, as Okwenu All-Stars have emerged as the champions of the maiden edition of the Budweiser KM Lubricants All-Stars Football Championship in the finals of the competition played at the FC Fanyoba International Stadium, Ozubulu Nnewi, on Sunday, the 3rd of December 2023. Okwenu All-Stars saw off Juventus. They saw off Juventus FC All-Stars by a lone goal scored in the 68th minute of the game through Chidebere Augustine Ozemena to claim the star prize of 1 million naira. For that one, Juventus FC settled for 500,000 naira, while Toalin FC Stars, who defeated SSK FC All-Stars by 5-4 on penalties after playing out a 1-1 draw during regulation times in the 3rd and 4th place playoffs, settled for 300,000 naira, while the sum of 200,000 naira went to SSK FC. The competition, which started in October 2023, had a total of 13 teams comprising of Team 1 FC, Elders FC, Juventus FC, SSK FC, and Nedobiga Boys FC. We also had Gideon Knights FC, All Stars FC, Peace FC, One with God FC, Okwenu FC, Towalin Table Waters FC, Maria Regina Sports Club, Newi, and Omo Aegis FC, all featuring in the competition. Reacting after the finals, the sponsor of the competition and the CEO, KM Lubricant, Chief Kenneth Maduako, expressed his delight that the well-organized competition came to a crescendo peacefully, while congratulating Okwenu All-Stars FC for emerging the champions of the maiden edition. I'm delighted with the outcome of the competition, which ended on a very good note as we experienced a good football for about 2 months at the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba, and that was on Friday, December 1st, and Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, in the presence of football fans in Asaba, with support from one of Africa's fastest growing airline company, Air Peace, and the Asaba Super Cup tournament witnessed the coming of seasons football coaches and agents from European countries who were on ground to sport and on air. The next big football stars are coming out of Nigeria. A total of 10 football clubs are comprising of Delta Marines Football Club, Delta Marines Football Academy, Youngsha Grove Football Club, Ndame Football Academy, Remy Uche Football Academy of Onitsha, Sporting Football Club, Delta Lions Football Club, Traveling Football Academy of Umuahia, Ekuku Abo United, and Delta Lions Football Club, featured in the 2-day football program, streamed live to football followers by the Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS TV, YouTube channel, and Delta Marines FC TV YouTube channel. According to the administrative officer of Delta Marines Football Club, Miss Jennifer Turendu, the Asaba Super Cup would be an annual signature football tournament in the administrative capital of Delta State that will attract football fans in the state and beyond, while discovering and nurturing young talented footballers, bearing in mind that Delta State has produced great footballers such as Austin J.J. Okocha and the likes of Sondolise and the later Stephen Keshi, and a whole lot of others. Asaba is a city that hosts a sports event, especially the Stephen Keshi Stadium. This is why we wanted to bring on board a signature football tournament that will hold on annual basis, geared towards discovering football talent, as well as draw football fans to the stadium to watch good football on display. Over 180 footballers are featured in this program, as Asaba Super Cup is a fairly new project which we intend to go global as an off-season competition. The youthful female football administrator have had the FIFA licensed agents and directors of football representing several football clubs in Europe. We have flown into Asaba for the Asaba Super Cup project. She affirmed that the foreign football scouts and managers were impressed with the style of play from the players' positioning, tactics, and formation, as well as the stadium facility, aesthetics, and the city's ambience. Jennifer conferred the appreciation of the manager of Delta Marines FC to the Delta Football Association and the Delta State Sports Development Commission, the football clubs that participated, Airpeace and ABS TV, for making the program colorful and worthwhile, while assuring that the next edition will be a proper competitive tournament with a trophy and cash prizes. Other high points of the launching of the Asaba Super Cup competition was the official unveiling of the female team of Delta Marines FC in an exhibition match against the reigning Nigerian Women Football League champions Delta Queens FC. So that was a competition talking about Asaba Super Cup competition that had 10 clubs featuring, and it was 5 matches in the first day, 5 matches in the second day to wrap up our proceedings out there. And Delta Marines Football Club used that opportunity to showcase their football academy, as well as their female team known as the Delta Marines ladies, and it happened out there at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba, and that was last Friday the 1st, and then on Saturday the 2nd of December 2023. It was a 2-day program, and the benefactors of that have promised that in years to come there will be more coming from the Asaba Super Cup competition. There will be trophy this time around and cash prize that will be initiated to make this exercise program a laudable one. So we'll be watching out for that, and we wish the benefactor of this competition, talking about Delta Marines Football Club, all the very best in their future endeavor. Now, moving on, let's go to Onitsha. Let's talk about the One Feed. That's One Feed is Onitsha ex-footballers in diaspora. They have a competition they call the Onitsha Unity Cup competition, and that competition is in the 2nd edition. The 1st edition was held last year. The finals played on the 8th, and the 2nd edition is on right now. And let's tell you that the ongoing 2nd edition of the Onitsha Unity Cup, a competition bankrolled by Onitsha ex-footballers in diaspora, known as One Feed, will produce a new champion, as Mourinho FC is set to slug it out with Michael FC in what will be a mouth-watering cracker to book their places for the final match of the competition. Mourinho FC saw off Nioj FC 6-5 on penalties after playing out a 1-1 draw in the first semi-finals clash played, and that was on Monday, the 4th of December 2023 at the Fege Stadium, Onitsha. Let's also tell you that Michael FC, on the other hand, saw off their opponent in Ozalla FA by a lone goal in the 2nd semi-finals clash played on Tuesday, the 5th of December 2023 at the same venue. Anambra 2023 Federation Cup champions Ozalla FA had Hitato ended the defending champions Galaxy FC at the quarterfinal stage, beating them 2-1 at the Chuba Ibazu Stadium in a match played on Thursday, the 30th of November 2023. A total of 15 football clubs are comprising of Bonfa FA, Diamond Stars FC, Fekan FC, Michael FA, Galaxy FC, Muriho FC, All Stars FC, Global FC, Nioch FC, Terik FC, Dynamites FC. We also have a Golden Boys FC, Ozalla FA, United FC, FC and Peace FC are featuring in the second edition of the One Feet Onitsha Unity Cup competition. The winner of the competition goes home with a sum of ₦1 million. We'll hear, while the first and second runners-up will get 500,000 naira and 300,000 naira respectively. And the final of the maiden edition played on Sunday, the 8th of January 2023 at the Chuba Ibazu Stadium on Onitsha. It may interest you to know that Galaxy FC saw off Mourinho FC 4-2 on penalties after a 1-0 scoreline at a regulation time to emerge as champions. And this year's edition, the finals, is expected to come up on Sunday, the 7th of January 2024. That's in the new year. We'll be watching out for that. It is Mourinho FC taking on Michael FC in the finals of the One Feet Onitsha Unity Cup competition, the second edition. There will be a new champion. Last year it was won by Galaxy FC, who dethroned Mourinho FC 4-2 on penalties, and Mourinho FC have fought their way back now, and they are in the finals. And let's see if Mourinho FC can win it this year, as they get set to take on Michael FC in the finals of the One Feet Onitsha Unity Cup competition. We'll keep you posted on the development and all that in subsequent edition of a Sports Splash. Moving away from that, let's talk about Anambra Club. Anambra Club, a Solution FC, is set to face Osun United in a match day 4 program. And let's tell you that Anambra Club, a Solution FC, are set to square up against Osun United in one of the match day 4 actions of the 2023-2024 Nigeria National League NNL season. Solution FC, which began their quest in the NNL on match day 1, saw off Lagos-based side Trade Safe FC by a lone goal in a match played at the Awka City Stadium. In their second match of the campaign, the Solution Boys lost to Warriors FC by 2 on-reply goals in a cracker played at the Kwale Township Stadium, and that's in Delta State. Solution FC went on temporary break as they were not involved in match day 3 action, but will resume hostilities at the Awka City Stadium when they play host to the Osogbo-based Osun United, and that match is coming up tomorrow. Be there at the Awka City Stadium. It's by 4 p.m. at Solution FC. The Solution Boys, as they go by that sub-break, are set to take on Osun United, a match day 4 program for the Nigeria National League, and you've seen the flyer on your screen. Be there tomorrow. Is at the Awka City Stadium, and actions happening at the Awka City Stadium. Remember, today also the Traders Cup finals will also be happening at the Awka City Stadium. It starts by 10 o'clock. Remember, tomorrow Solution FC will trade tackles with Osun United. The match is starting by 4 p.m. Be there for the action. Let's move away from that. Let's go to Abuja. Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Owan Eno, has enjoined the Nigeria Football Federation and the Super Eagles coach Jose Peseiro to consolidate efforts at ensuring that the country win her 4th African Cup of Nations title at next month's Continental Fiesta holding in Cote d'Ivoire. The Super Eagles have been drawn in a tricky Group A that hosts Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. And the senator is rallying efforts behind a 3-time champions as he held a high-level meeting yesterday with the leadership of the NFF and Peseiro to deliberate on strategic plans and preparations towards the 2023 African Cup of Nations, the AFCON. The meeting held at the minister's office in Abuja and reaffirmed the government's unwavering support for Nigerian football and emphasized the significance of meticulous planning and cohesive strategies to propel the national team to victory at the upcoming AFCON. And speaking for the Eno re-emphasized the importance of Wednesday's session, adding that the ministry would provide all the necessary support and resources to ensure the Super Eagles' readiness and competitiveness at the tournament. And he also said, for the Super Eagles coach Jose Peseiro, he conveyed his appreciation for the collaborative efforts and reiterated his commitment to steering the Nigerian national team towards excellence at the upcoming AFCON. He highlighted the significance of the robust preparation and emphasized that the technical crew will work with the players to sort out gray areas and bring joy to Nigerians. And the minister commended the dedication and professionalism exhibited by Coach Peseiro so far in handling the national team, and stating that necessary efforts are ongoing to settle outstanding issues with the coach, and assured him of an enabling environment to help the team thrive. As the tournament draws nearer, Senator Eno assured that football enthusiasts of the government continue support and urge Nigerians to rally behind the national team as they prepare to compete at the highest level of African football, which is known as the African Cup of Nations. The NFF delegation the meeting also included First Vice President Felix Anyansi, General Secretary Dr. Mohamed Sanusi, Technical Director Austin Eguavon, Chairman Technical Committee Sheriff Inoua, and Director of International Competitions Dayo Enebi. And the tournament will be held in Cote d'Ivoire between January 13 and February 11. The African Nations Cup will be on terrestrial TV. During that time, ABS will also have a live TV to talk about the action, the African Nations Cup, and bring it to you for you to feel what is happening in Cote d'Ivoire. And the Super Eagles are drawn in Group A alongside Guinea, Bissau, Equatorial Guinea, and Cote d'Ivoire. We'll be watching out for actions when the Nations Cup kicks off. Moving away from that, Joao Matip is likely to miss the rest of the Liverpool's season, with manager Jurgen Klopp confirming the defender has suffered a serious knee injury in what he thought may be an anterior cruciate ligament tear. And the centre-back, Matip, came off 20 minutes from the end of the Sunday's 4-3 Premier League victory over Fulham at Anfield. And after Wednesday's 2-0 win at Sheffield United, Klopp has said that the 32-year-old Cameroon defender had ruptured his anterior cruciate ligament. And when it's an anterior cruciate ligament here, expect the player to be out for a minimum of 7 months. And the defender is in the final year of his contract with the club. And Matip joined Liverpool from German side Schalke 04 7 years ago, and has made a total of 201 appearances in all competitions, scoring a total of 11 goals, and we wish him a quicker recovery. Now let's move on to other sports. In Formula One, China, Miami, Austria, Austin, Sao Paulo, and Qatar. The six Grand Prix are chosen to host a sprint event during the 2024 Formula One season. F1 announced the list of races on Tuesday and said that the changes to the format of the event were under discussion. A plan to move qualifying for the sprint on Friday and hold the shorter race on Saturday before Grand Prix qualifying has been effectively agreed. We hear more radical changes, such as the reversing the sprint grid, are being considered. These will be discussed at a meeting of the F1 Commission, which comprises F1 governing body, the FIA, and all 10 teams in January. And 2 plans of a different nature are under consideration for a format change for the sprint, which are races that's run to about 1/3 of the distance of the Grand Prix we hear. And Austin is and now looking at the calendar for the races. The first sprint of 2024 will be held at the Chinese Grand Prix. That's usually the Guangzhou Grand Prix. It hosts from 19th to 21 April, and the Shanghai race will be on the calendar next year for the first time since the pandemic, having been cancelled in 2023 because of China's difficulties in coming out of the COVID-19. And Miami follows on the 3rd to 5th of May and is also hosting a sprint event for the first time. The other 4 races have all held a sprint event previously. Austria is on 28th to 30th of June, and the U.S. Grand Prix in Austin, Texas is on the 18th to the 20th of October, and the Sao Paulo Grand Prix is 1st to 3rd November, and Qatar, the penultimate race for the season, is on the 29th November to the 1st of December. While you have that 3-day gap, is you always have the practice session for the first day. The second day is a practice session to determine the grids where the drivers will be lined out, and then we now have the main event on the 3rd day to wrap up our proceedings for Formula One. So that's the way it is, and we'll be watching out for the next year's edition. And let's tell you that in athletics, that the war in Tigray claimed that the lives of 76 athletes at the state athletes leader has told that the media the bloody 2-year conflict between Ethiopia's government and forces in the region began in November 2020 and led to thousands of deaths. And the conflict caused famine-like conditions and ended in November last year after the Ethiopian government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front signed a peace deal brokered by the African Union. And quickly to tennis news as we'll get set to wind off on the show. In tennis, Emma Raducanu will make her comeback to the tennis store in Auckland in the first week of January. The 2021 US Open champion has been out of action since April and has fallen to 296 in the world rankings following 3 surgical operations. Let's also tell you that 2-time champion Rafael Nadal has been included on the entry list for the Australian Open after nearly a year out with injury, while Nick Kyrgios looks set to miss the tournament in January, and Nadal, 37 years of age, has been out of action since injuring his hip flexor in the last Australian Open. And lastly, back to football before we go. Santos, Brazil legends Pelé former club, have been relegated for the first time in their 111-year history. A 2-1 home defeat to Fortaleza in their final league match of the season meant they dropped out of the Serie A. Brazil's top flight, and Santos won 12 state titles, 6 league titles, and 2 Copas Libertadores during their golden era of 1950s to 1960s. 3-time World Cup winner Pelé died at the age of 82 years, and that was last year. And Santos, who also produced Brazil's record scorer Neymar, have suffered financial problems in recent years. And heading into the final game of the season, Americano, Mineiro, Coritiba, and Goiás have also be relegated in the Brazilian Serie A. That's the show for the morning. Sports Splash on ABS TV. Thank you so much for being here, talking sports all the way from Monday down to Friday. The show will take a break and return on Monday for another episode. My name is Ike Nwokedi. I urge you to have a lovely weekend, but remember to keep sporting. Bye-bye now.